We did it! We made it through holiday break and into the new year. My holiday break has been both exhausting and recharging in different ways. My kiddo got super sick, and then we got sick, so on top of the 2-week Christmas and New Year's break that he had from school, he had an additional week beforehand from being sick the entire week and completely unable to go to school. And now we're in the middle of Snowmageddon, where we've already had at least one day canceled, and I'm expecting a couple because it's not going to get any better very quickly. So very little time spent working, a lot of time spent gaming. I feel recharged for my YouTube work and things like that, but I am also exhausted from my complete lack of sleep. My gaming during the break was not at all how I imagined it, but that's not a bad thing. I haven't gotten to do a games I've played recently video in a while, so I thought it was time. So let's jump in. First and foremost, holy crap, I have been addicted to Balatro. I don't want to spoil too much. I have a whole dedicated video coming on the game. It's a weird one because I have zero interest in playing cards, like traditional playing cards. I've never played poker. I've never learned the hands. I don't know anything about it. I don't play any other traditional playing card games, and I suck at most trading card games or deck builders or whatever. This was suggested to me by my community manager, Will. He's like, he explained that, you know, it's a roguelike on top of the deck building thing, and that if you can get past the cards, you might actually like it. Knowing that I love roguelikes and like a little bit of a challenge. And wow, I have put up 39 million point scoring hands. I have won with almost every deck I have available to me so far. I cannot put this game down. It is not at all something I would traditionally play, but I can't put it down. That's the mobile game I pretty much always have some sort of mobile game going. That's what I've got going recently. On the family side, we've almost beat Paper Mario the Origami King. We've put a ton of game nights into it. We've almost beat it. We're about to unlock the second to last streamer that you unlock for Peach's Castle. Honestly, the game gets really annoying at certain parts. It talks your head off. It over-explains every little thing. I can't say I'm a huge fan of it. I've had a lot of fun playing through it with my kiddo and my wife. Like, we have had fun. I don't see myself playing through it again. It feels like a slog at certain points. The constant pestering of reminding you of every little detail is really annoying. But my kiddo is absolutely loving it, and that's frankly all that matters. Same thing with Splatoon 2. We got this for my kiddo for Christmas because he loves paint and rainbows, and we thought it would be something cool that he would like. And after playing the Jeff Winter Festival mode in Marvel Rivals, we thought we would like it. So far, he doesn't care too much to play. It is multiplayer only, so like he's just kind of getting stomped on whenever he does play. He's very young after all, but he does like watching us play it so far. I hate that it doesn't have any sort of split screen. It has local multiplayer, but then we'd have to buy. We do have two Switches. We have a normal Switch that was my first one. That's now our like family Switch, and then I have a Switch OLED that I picked up a while back. So we could do that, but then I'd have to buy another copy of the game. I don't know why it doesn't just have split screen. That feels insane. Personally, I haven't been a huge fan of it so far, even as a shooter lover. I hate that it started you out with motion controls. Like, no one would probably ever want to play the game aiming with your controller. That's insane. But overall, I don't know. Every match is a steamroll one way or another, and either way, I'm pretty much always on top of the leaderboard, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything worthwhile. But again, my kiddo loves it, and it's a goofy little thing we can do sometimes, so it's cool. I did finally beat Dragon Age Origins. I beat the main story. I still got Awakening and Witch Hunt to play through, but I needed a break after 45 hours, I think, I put into the game. Absolutely loved it. Have a lot to say about it and Mass Effect 1. I have some videos on those coming. But after that, my wife and I picked up Marvel Rivals. I know I'm trying to phase competitive multiplayer out of my life. I've made that very clear on this channel. But my wife and I have missed our Overwatch days. We used to play Overwatch together a lot and just kind of faded out with Overwatch 2. It just killed a lot of the joy for us. Role locking and things like that just really messed with me, and then they changed the comp and everything. Like, we just fell out of love with it, but we've missed that easy jump in multiplayer thing. My wife is way more stoked on it than I am, but I have put about 40 hours into it, mostly playing side by side with my wife. I am a Moon Knight main. I absolutely shred with Moon Knight. I am slowly learning to tank with Venom and Groot, and I can do a tiny bit of healing with Mantis. But I am also ready for a break after 40 hours since the game came out. I realize there are people with way more, but for me, in that short amount of time, that's a lot. We grinded up. We played a ton at first, just normally, and then we grinded up our competitive ranks for the Moon Knight skin, since I'm a Moon Knight main. And after that grind, it's like, I was burning out. I was getting pretty burned out. We had really awful luck with the competitive play. And I reached a point where I was like, I think I'm done. And then we had one day where I was just like, all right, after Kiddo goes to bed, we're playing competitive. We're just jumping right in, and we're going to do this. And we did. We had no losses that night. We just absolutely went in. But now every time, like, I've tried to play a match or two as a start to our night or whatever, and my heart just isn't in it at the moment. I just want to go back to story games. Speaking of which, after many months of a hiatus to beat Dragon Age and then play Marvel Rivals for a bit, I finally picked back up Mass Effect 2. Picked it right back up at the start of the year here. I still really struggle with the combat systems compared to 1, and jumping back in mid-combat, having not played in months, it's rough. There is a lot about Mass Effect 2 that I really don't like compared to Mass Effect 1. I know everyone says 2 is the masterpiece, and maybe once I get through the story, I will feel that way. But in terms of just the day-to-day gameplay, I far, far, far preferred 1. But I am super stoked to keep playing my way through it and see it through, because I do love this franchise. And then there's Astrobot. I picked this up on release. I wanted to support it. I wanted to get it. But it came out like right before I went to TwitchCon, and I was busy and traveling a whole bunch, so I didn't really get to start it. I started it with my kiddo in December, played a bunch of it on the break. It's just an easy 30-minute in and out game where I can bring my kiddo out to the studio. We can pop in for half an hour, play a level, play a couple side levels, maybe play 2, collect some bots, mess around on the home base. This game is near perfection. I talked about it a ton on the Dualcom podcast with BBK Dragoon. We just filmed the new episode, so whatever episode comes out at the start of January, I believe it's episode 4. I will have it linked in the description. And then on Fangamer, they put out some licensed plushies that are on pre-order that ship in March. There's the normal Astrobot and then the God of War Kratos one. I had to. I'm such a sucker. And my kiddo's gonna love it too, because he is in love with this game. He won't shut up about it every time we come in the house. After playing it, he's just over the moon. I've had Ghost of Tsushima on the PS5, the director's cut or whatever, for a long time, but haven't touched it yet. It's hard because I always had it sold to me as a Souls-like game, a Soulsborne style game. And for the longest time, I just sucked at those and didn't want anything to do with it. I'd describe it as more of an Assassin's Creed game. Like, at least thus far, you're learning the stealth and the assassinations and everything, and like, it's the Assassin's Creed game I always wanted, because you're learning to be an assassin. You're not just jumping in the hands of an assassin. It is a lot of fun, and that's part of my I'm going to play the heck out of my PS5 this year thing. I started it a couple days ago, put a couple hours into it, not super far yet, but this game is so freaking beautiful. I keep stopping and playing with the photo mode. I'm really enjoying the story so far and the combat. Obviously, again, I'm early in the game, but I feel like this is an absolute must-play game just in general. I really wish I'd been playing Helldivers 2 all year. I was interested in it when it first came out. I was worried that it was going to be one of those live service games. Like, I was trying to spite my FOMO. I didn't want to miss out on it, but I didn't want to be compelled to buy a game because I didn't want to miss out on it. And I was interested when it first came out, but I was really worried that it was going to die off really quick. And then there was the whole controversy over the account system thing, which, other than the people in countries who Sony doesn't support, who obviously needed refunds, like, all in all, I could care less about needing the account. Just all of that discourse kind of soured the game for me, and I just looked over it. But I wanted to get it. I wanted to grab the Killzone gear, but my copy arrived a literal 1 day too late to get it, so I'm super bummed about that. I hope they stick to their word that they'll put them back in the cycle so I can grab them. I have tons of unlocks I need to get. There's tons of freedom, tons of democracy. For me, it brings out the Left 4 Dead 2 or the early Destiny 1 kind of co-op vibes. You got your squad of 3 instead of 4 for Left 4 Dead, obviously. And you're just going through and killing out the waves of alien bugs or zombies or robots, and it's a lot of fun. I have more to say after I put more time into it. I'm only like rank 7, but I've gotten to use a lot of the higher rank stuff because our Discord squad has most of it unlocked. So I've used rocket launchers and auto cannons, and the mech is insane, even though I keep killing my teammates with it. It's a lot of fun. And then lastly, I've put a little bit of time into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. This is a roguelike game, basically like Hades, but you swap between the Ninja Turtles. To me, this is the perfect TMNT game. Like, this is what TMNT should be. And I know they've come out with a bunch of games, like I think 2024, they like 4 or 5 Ninja Turtles games, which is insane to me. One of them is supposed to be like Persona. I might try the Mutants. I forget what it's called. I talked about it on the last podcast episode. I will pick that up at some point and give it a try, but I got a bunch of stuff on my PS5 I want to play through first. I can't wait to play through more of Ghost of Tsushima. I can't wait to unlock more stuff in Helldivers to finally beat Mass Effect 2 and eventually Mass Effect 3 this year. That is 100% a goal of mine for 2025. I also want to finish up Marvel's Midnight Suns. I honestly haven't even progressed in it. I've put like 10 or 12 hours into it, and I don't think I've actually progressed the story at all because I've just been so in love with the combat loop and like talking to the characters. So I'm worried that it will be kind of weird because I haven't done a whole lot of story missions to progress it forward. So I'm still in Act 1, I'm still at the start, but like I've been enjoying just the day-to-day cycle that I haven't wanted to push it forward. So also this year, I want to play through some more PS5 games. Obviously, I have a bunch I want to play through that I already have, but for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I picked up Stellar Blade, I picked up Elden Ring. I want to play through Elden Ring, and then I want to get Erdtree, play through that, and be ready for the crazy 3-person Night Rain mode thing I am so excited for. I want to play through Nier Automata, the Callisto Protocol. I want to try Final Fantasy Stranger of Paradise. I've got Forspoken I want to play through. And then I've had Final Fantasy VII Remake since the PS4 days. I want to get the free PS5 upgrade for that, play through that, and then pick up Rebirth and play through it. That's going to take me forever, so that's low on the list. Along with I picked up on sale Persona 3 Reload. I feel like my wife and I started Persona 3 on the PS2 a few years ago. But I want to pick up this one. It has all the DLC and updated graphics and stuff, obviously. Thank you so much for all of your support on Lost Saves this past year. We gained over 10,000 subscribers on this channel in 2024, which is insane. It's allowed me a lot of room to really shift my work as my priorities and my interests have shifted. And it means the world to me. I have felt kind of stuck in the stream professor role for a while now, and I've been wanting to break out of it. And this year I put a ton of work into the gaming channel and it's blown up. I've made both casual and big project videos, and they both have done well in different degrees. And I'm excited to just push that this year. I've got some big projects planned and stuff, but I'm trying to keep a consistent upload schedule, 2 or 3 videos a week. So I won't be able to focus entirely on just the big projects like I did at the end of the summer. But I do want to still get those out, especially because those are the ones that perform the best. But yeah, thank you so much. Keep warm out there. Let me know what games you were playing over your winter break. And remember to be kind. Rewind.